Just proud of our guys. You know, it was a good team win. It was. Holy Cross played their tails off in that first half. They were tough to guard early in that first quarter, and we couldn't score on them. You know, we got 5 transition goals in the first half, and we couldn't break the shell there in 6-on-6, and that was a little frustrating. I thought their goalie played really well, but I thought defensively they were very solid. We settled in after the first couple of possessions defensively. The game was a little bit chaotic in the first quarter, and I thought once we settled in, we played a really good defensive game. I was most proud of Joe Bucci. You know, the kid goes in when Zach goes down, and he goes 10 of 14 in the second half. And I thought that third quarter, I think he was 5 of 6. And, you know, that won us the game. You know, we were able to keep momentum, stop any run that they potentially would have had. I thought they were going to come out with a lot of emotion. I thought us scoring early in the third quarter helped us. But really, Joe Bucci, from an individual standpoint, solidified that for us.
Along those lines, at the start of the third quarter, you get those boom right off. Did it feel like that, A, was necessary just to, A, create a cushion, but also to get guys to feel a little bit better after what was really a sloppy first half?
Yeah, I think, one, it was sloppy, and then when you get the news that the kid that is really our emotional leader, Zach Hayashi, is not going to play in the second half, you're scared. You know, as a coach, you're worried about how's the team going to respond to it. And for Joe Bucci, who's a walk-on, you know, and he showed up the first day of practice, and we needed the face-off guy, and he walked on the team, you know, and he's made himself into a pretty damn good college face-off guy. And he did that, you know, he stepped up and fulfilled the role. So I thought it was awesome. To me, that's what team sports are all about.
So what changed offensively in the second half? You scored 6 goals in the first half, only 2 in the second quarter. You had a couple of lengthy droughts in the first half, and then you come out and score 11 in the second half.
Yeah.
What changed?
Well, I think because we were breaking them down in the clearing game and in transition, we were getting some looks. We never really settled into an offensive possession. I think we had 2 offensive possessions in the first half that were really true 6-on-6 possessions. So, you know, for us, we weren't able to see schematically what was going to work. And I think we finally just started to beat some guys, you know, one-on-one. I think we finally figured out how to beat their short sticks and draw a slide. And we moved the ball much better in that second half because we weren't getting as much transition. I think we were forced to play the game in the box, and our guys played a little bit better with the ball in their stick for the most part. Yeah, I'm optimistic. You know, it was the right move. The doctor came over to me in halftime in the locker room and just said it's the right move to just be cautious with him. But you know, he was as engaged. He was a great teammate on the sideline, so I have no worries about him next week.
Max, what changed offensively, in your opinion, in the second half, where you went from only scoring 6 in the first half to 11 in the second half?
I think in the first half, I don't think we were dodging hard. I don't think we were doing the things that we were supposed to be doing in the first half in terms of just running our offenses and being in the right spots. I think in the second half, we were moving the ball much better, dodging much harder, and getting to better spots, and that led to goals, and that led to better looks, and we were able to take better shots in that second half. I just think the first half we were sloppy, and it was not who we are. The second half was much better.
Jackson, how much for the first 3 to 5 minutes or so of the second half sort of vital for you guys being able to handle business today?
You know, I think it was vital just because, like Max said, the offense needed a little bit of a spark at the beginning. They're getting good shots, but they weren't dodging hard, and credit to their goalie, he played really well. He made a lot of really good saves. So playing a strong defensive game at the beginning of that first or second half and just kind of holding it down and giving them the opportunity to do what they do, which we knew that they would, was really vital to the success they had today.
Were you surprised they changed goalies? The first guy had 7 saves and gave up 6 goals. The second guy made no saves.
Yeah, JL and I spoke at halftime coming out. I said, look, we're going to take our face-off guy out. You need to take your goalie out. So I thought it was just good gamesmanship. I thought it was a surprising move, but, you know, he's trying to build a program there, and I think he's been doing that the entire year. And he told those guys, before the game, and, you know, credit to him for sticking to it. I don't think it worked out in his favor, but I also think we got some better looks, you know, in the second half. I think we played some better offense. So I don't think it was the goalie's fault, but I think we just played a little bit better offense.
Can you talk about trying to get 2 in a row? I mean, putting some wins together. Next week you have Colgate coming in here. I mean, I heard Pete Metter say on the pregame, you're like the stock market, up and down. What about trying to find some consistency and win a few in a row?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had an answer, Wags. You know, I think, I told the team afterwards, it's not about building wins, it's about getting better. We have to get better as a program, right? We have to get better as a team from today until next week, and that better hopefully will be able to give us a chance to fight against a really good Colgate team. That's gonna be a completely different style than these guys, and probably somewhat more chaotic and more aggressive. You know, so we just have to continue to keep improving. That's our goal as coaches. And we can't focus on the result of wins, and I know that's tough to say because we're getting down to crunch time, but if we just focus on the result and we're not focused on the process of getting better, then we're not gonna be in the fight when the season's coming to an end. You know, so that's our focus from now moving forward.
So could you guys comment on that? I mean, you have a great win against Hopkins, and you turn around and lose to Villanova. You had a great win against BU, you turn around and lose to Lehigh. What do you have to do to put some wins together?
I mean, I think it starts with the senior class and our ability to, stay consistent day in and day out. I don't think, obviously, with how it's gone this season, we haven't done the best job of that. But I think it's up to us to kind of make sure we don't get too high, don't get too low, and lead from the front. That's probably the biggest thing for me.
I agree with Coach Amplo. I think that the focus of our team right now is just focusing on getting better every single day, coming out to practice and getting the things we need to get done and doing it in an elite way every single day, because if we can do that, then we can put a good result out on the field on Saturday.